Welcome to the High Vibe Show, living the high vibe life with me, your host, Elisa V. And together with my guests, experts in the art of living in a state of high vibration, we have got an amazing show for you today. My passion is to educate and inspire you to raise your frequency to a high vibrational state. Whether you're an awakened soul to the power of your own consciousness as a light being, or you're new to this spiritual path of expansion and growth, which is made possible through vibrating at a high level, you are in the right place. So stay here to experience fun, frequency upgrades now, so you can manifest all you want and help to raise the collective vibration of our wonderful world. Let's hit the restart button and high vibe it together. The High Vibe Show starts now. Hey everyone, Elisa V here. Welcome to the High Vibe Show. And you are in the right place if you're looking for a life filled with high energy frequencies of love, abundance, and enlightenment. So today we are going to have a really informative show with my special guest, Mel Carmine. We're going to be taking a journey into the world of Energy Enhancement System, EES. And the EES system is a revolutionary technology that promotes healing and overall well-being. Mel Carmine is an international podcast host and founder of the Staying Aliive Wellness Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Hello, Mel. Welcome.
Well, I am the founder of the actual location, but I'm not the founder of the actual technology. I want to make sure that your audience is clear on that. I used to make pizzas. Chances of me inventing something of this elaborate would probably be next to zilch. But and the machines are not medical devices. The machines only emit a frequency, and then it is the body that recognizes that frequency, and it is the body that produces billions and billions of cells every hour, and it is the body that goes into repair mode.
Okay, so the technology is enabling the body to do more of what it's already doing on a greater scale to enable itself to heal or to become
exactly more correct.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, if you were to get sucked up from like one of these spacecrafts, the technology that permeates inside these flying saucers is scalar wave biophoton technology. That's exactly, except it's on steroids. It's like, 10 times greater.
Yeah. So we met about a year ago or so when I reached out to you regarding another area of your expertise, which I'm hopeful I can have you on again to talk about that. And that world is the future landscape of finance and the global economy and the QFS system, the quantum financial system. But today, I want to really take a deep dive into this new project that is very near and dear to your heart, which is very much humanitarian in nature. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. I know you just mentioned before that you were a pizza maker, but how you came, to open this amazing wellness center.
Well, I was involved with the I got involved with the metals. I had a safe full of about 120 pounds worth of silver when I was living in Costa Rica. I was living inside a gated community, very heavily armed, so I was pretty safe there. And then it got really, really, it was like a slow boat to China. So we got into the XRP and we got into the digital assets. It wasn't until a few years later. I get a video from my good friend Gil Ajed, who's also a podcaster on YouTube. She said, "You got to stop everything right now and you got to watch this." And so I watched it and I was amazed to what I'm hearing. So I'm very familiar with Nikola Tesla, Raymond Royal Rife, all these inventors that have invented incredible technology, but they were never allowed to shine because there's a petrol-based drug system that needs to thrive, and the way it thrives is it's got to keep everybody sick. So they were on that hamster wheel, buying more drugs, and next thing you know, if you go to Walmart, or you go to Kmart, or you go to Target, you see the product that has produced, and we live in zombie land, literally. That was intentional and by design. So we are literally at a crossroad where trying to wake the people up as to what this is challenging. There's no question about it. But I believe we're maybe 18 months, 24 months away from it going mainstream, because, once we get to what I call the 900th monkey syndrome, people can say, wait a minute, there's got to be something to this. And then they'll all come, and then there'll be, a line that's maybe, miles and miles long. And you might come to stayingalive.com, alive with two eyes, and you'll realize that you have to wait 6 months to get a chair, or 8 months, or maybe even a year. That's what I see coming. So it's a game of patience. We know it's coming. We know that the people are tired of the medical industry, because you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, something's wrong with you. What are they fixing? How about nothing? How about these are incompetent fools? Okay.
Yeah.
They've gone to school for 20 years to really, they could have gone the other way when they, back at the turn of the century, we could have went, the way of holistic, or we went the way of medicine. We went the way of medicine, which, like I said earlier, it is petroleum based. And people, they go to take a little brown bottle, and they have all these side effects, and they go to complain to who? The doctor, because he's the expert, right? He knows better. And so when you go there, what do? They give, you got to take these other 3. Now you got 4 different pills you're taking. Now you got like 18 different side effects, and you keep going back and complaining. Next thing you know, you're taking 29 different drugs, and you have no idea which planet you're on. That's where we're at today.
Absolutely. And I think, if we kind of trace it back, and I've touched on this a little bit on my show, with some of the guests I've had before, where we I try to promote and educate my listeners more about holistic and natural ways of healing the body and working with the body. And, that was, like you said, it was all by design, when they started earlier in the 20th century, with the Rockefellers, and really trying to discredit anybody who used 1,000-year-old traditions of natural remedies to heal the body. And they started to, basically being in charge of the media, they were able to kind of convince everyone that they were quacks, that the allopathic way of medication was the right way. And, I wanted to kind of just touch on something you said, but I feel that with the medical community, particularly like the doctors and the people that I think probably had good intention when they went into that field, right? They want to help people, but the unfortunate part is that up until this point, who's running the medical schools? It's the pharmaceuticals that are behind it. So they're really just learning how to diagnose and prescribe, and they're treating symptoms, never getting to the root cause. So I think we're seeing more and more, at least I see in my own world, more and more people that are going towards the naturopathic way, or deciding that they've had it with, not really curing and getting to the root cause. And I think we're going to see more and more people, even that are trained professionals, that are going to start to expand and move back to that. But like you said, we're not quite at that point. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do a show, because I wanted to show people that there's more than what's there. And part of it is about, what vibration and frequency are you living in, and being more open to truths that maybe we haven't been taught, throughout our lives. So getting back to Staying Aliive Wellness Center. So can you maybe explain a little bit more, because some of our viewers and listeners may not understand. I have spoken a little bit on the show about scalar light energy. I had Tom Palladino on the show once, and he does a lot with that. But explain a little bit, if you can, and where this technology comes from. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about Dr. Sandra Rose and her contribution. I think some of this comes from her technology, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Well, she got a download. She's been at this since 1996. It wasn't until Jason Shirka stepped into the picture about 2.5 years ago that it was like he threw a bomb of Hiroshima onto the whole thing and literally exploded it worldwide. I think it was like something like 875,000 views that weekend on that one video that Gilla had sent me. And they had about 75,000 emails that weekend from around the world, people saying, we want to open up a center. and it just literally exploded. Look, the body is made of a cellular structure. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter.
We're all human.
We're all billions, trillions of cells running these things, and we're mostly made up of 75% water. The body is so intelligently designed because the man upstairs doesn't make any mistakes. So if you have 4 or 5 things or 6 things wrong with you, and believe me, if you live on planet Earth, even though you may have not been diagnosed and you haven't been to the doctor in 29 years, you don't believe in doctors like I do. I try to fix everything myself because I realize that they can't fix anything anyway. So why am I wasting my time going to them where I could, hang out on this technology, and the body will prioritize and say, okay, Mel's got these 5 things wrong with him. This is the worst thing. Let's fix that first. This is the second worst thing. Let's fix that second. And so on, just like it happened with my mom. My mom, again, these are not medical devices, and the devices will not cure you. It is the body that cures you. My mom had cancer, emphysema, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, okay? All of these things have been gone. She's been completely not in the machines for over a year and a half. And so hopefully with a little bit of luck, we'll get her back here. She loves and she believes in it because, she used to have literally seizures that would last 5-6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. She walked in to the place. I don't know if there's a way that I could share my screen. If I could find those videos, I'll be more than glad to play them for you. Miracles.
Emily,
miracles
are you able to help Mel maybe share the screen so our viewers can see what he's talking about?
This is day 1. Look at how she's trying to grab onto stuff because she has no idea what planet on. She's literally on, 20 different drugs at this point. This is day 1. Okay. We go to day 2. This is this is 5 days later, 24 hours in the system. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at her.
Does that look like the same person to you? I mean, it really is miraculous because the cells are now working cohesively together, and the bad cells have been discarded. The good cells are training the good cells are training new cells on how to behave, and voila, you get this kind of a result. Correct?
Yeah. Like she's just got so much mobility. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. A big difference in just 5 days. I'm talking. This is a lady that has seizures for 5 hours. Now we go to video number.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now this is my mom 5 weeks later. Does that look like the same person day 1? I don't think so.
That's amazing.
A completely different person. But this is an 82-year-old lady, 83 today. Okay. She stayed in the system for 2 months. This is not instant grits. I always say that to people. This is not instant grits. And this is video number 4. This is about 5.5, 6 months later. Okay. And we're at a Korean place where you cook your own meat, whatever. And this is my mom 6 months later, which I think speaks volumes.
Wow. And she's also exuding just such a youthful energy. It's not just about her movement. It's like her youthfulness. So Mel, I want you to kind of explain to everyone what exactly happens. I want to up level and go and get treated at the center. So what happens? Walk us through the process of how this works for someone.
Everybody. Yeah, I want to make sure that I stress that everybody is different. If you have a different kind of a lifestyle, you smoke cigarettes and you like to hang out at Hooters and drink a 6-pack of beer because they have a special and they have a 29 wing special or whatever, and you got grease dripping down your elbow. Is it going to work on you? The answer is yes, but also the answer is that it's going to take much longer on somebody that really, because people think that we can just throw anything we want in this vessel and that everything's going to be hunky-dory. It's going to be fine. That is not the case, I can assure you. Okay? So somebody who has a more holistic dieting, more regimented, more organic, they maybe hang out in the sauna, they go to the gym, they like the ground, they go to the ocean. Those people who are more spiritually inclined are more prone to get faster results, if that makes any sense.
Totally makes sense. Right? Because you're starting at a higher point of wellness.
Exactly. Precisely correct. We've seen people that have literally, his name is Elaine from Canada, Elaine. And he's a very wealthy man. He's got like 300 people that work for him. He's got a very, very thriving business. He'll be back again. And he was there for a total of 3 weeks overnight. And his tingling in his toes went completely away. His diabetes was completely in check. And our place is pretty big. We have a place that's about 23, almost 2,400 square feet. And he ran down the aisle. There's a stage running towards the aisle. And he turned around after he ran, and he turned around to me and Amber, said, Amber, I wasn't able to do that 2 weeks ago.
Wow. So somebody that's interested would call, make an appointment. Do you have, you're saying overnight, you're saying days, like how does the, for lack of a better word, the menu of treatment sort of work? Like,
sure. Yeah, we have decided to go completely the other route, because when Gil Jed introduced me to what was the main interview that really blew this thing up with Jason Shurka, they opened up all these centers. There's 440, soon to be 600 locations worldwide, most of them here in the States. And the price points are $50 an hour, $60 an hour. In California, some places are as high as $85 an hour, 2-hour minimum. And I said, that blows the average Joe Blow out of the water. Even if you're making, $100,000 a year and you're paying income taxes, right? The illegal stuff that it's called income taxes. And you have a family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 kids and a dog. You can't go and hang out at a place like this.
No, you can barely make ends meet. You can barely make ends meet. Never mind do extra stuff. Right.
Correct. So because I'm very humanitarian at heart, and this is not really about the money. Although if the word ever got out and we go mainstream and the place does fill up, which we're bringing in Frank Mancini, a good friend of mine, a new marketing director with a whole team of guys that are search engine optimization. They're going to be building all kinds of apps, all kinds of things to make the place go. If we're able to gather a huge database of people who believe in this kind of stuff in Brevard County and the surrounding counties and fill up the chairs, this is a $300,000-$400,000 a month business, correct? Which the name Staying Aliive basically is screaming, please franchise me. Somebody please franchise me, because everybody would love to have a Staying Alive business with $400,000 a month coming in, but they don't come in. The money does not come in because we're price gouging people. The money comes in because we have a huge place with 50 chairs, and the sheer volume and the packages that we have, we are able to make it, affordable to the average minimum wage person who has 3 roommates, for example, because we have packages that are as low as $717, correct? $717, I think, buys you a total of 60 hours in the system. You have to use them up in a month. Okay. 60 hours is a significant amount of hours. You could use them 3 hours today, 5 hours tomorrow. There's no limit. You can't use them at night, only during the day. But the average minimum wage person can afford $770 for. Look, if you break down the hours versus what you're getting, okay, but based on the price packages and the amount of hours we give you, we got packages that are as low as $9.32. Hello?
Yeah.
Is anybody home? $9, the same technology that everybody else is offering. I didn't do it because I want to compete with everybody else. I did it because this, to me, is more of a humanitarian, and it's not about making money. Amber and I are so well positioned with the quantum financial system and the XRP and the dinars and all the stuff that's coming when the cabal decides to untangle their shorts and the Mexican standoff comes to a halt. Okay. That it's not even going to be funny. I might not even be as motivated as I am right now, but right now I still am motivated. That's why I launched, for example, carminesgold.com, because I want to be able to take some money from that, parlay it over into here and really blow it out. But I want to get the message. The message has to be so that people understand the message. See, but right now you go to a website and they're looking at it and they're saying, but we have doctors and they got the little brown bottle with the pills. What is this frequency energy? They don't get it.
Yes, it's an education process. And that's why it's so important that, people like you have, platforms that you're able to say. And, in my practice, I'm a life coach, right? I help people, level up. And, it's funny because people, oftentimes the last thing they invest in them is in themselves. they don't realize that it's an investment in your future because, if you don't take care of yourself, like you said, the human body is amazing, but you have to treat it right. So
The
with this,
information is all out there.
yeah, it's a matter of, right, just
Yeah.
keep getting it to people and
Yeah.
alerting them as to the
Yeah.
outlets they can go to. So when someone
Correct.
goes into the center, they just kind of sit in the chair. Like, do you just
They
sit
sit
there?
and meditate. They listen to, 532 hertz music, and very, very soothing, very relaxing. You go into a meditative state. 99% of the people will literally fall asleep in no time at all, within 5-6 minutes, literally asleep. Some people start crying because they get so spiritually inclined that they literally start to release, and they literally
Yes.
cry. Uh, I had a lady that was there for the Quantum Summit. We just did a Quantum Summit 1776. We had speakers flying in from all over the United States. We had a crowd that was almost 400 people there. And she went upstairs because I allowed some of the photographers and the speakers, whatever, to go up there and experience it free of charge. Okay. Because to me, like I said, it's not about the money. It's like, it's like I'm almost like a drug dealer. I have to give it to you, right? Make you understand that it's real. And then you'll want to pay me for it because you'll understand it's real, right? Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how good they can feel until they feel it, right? It's
Exactly. So this lady comes down the stairs and she starts bawling. She's crying. She's like, I haven't been able to sleep in 4 years. I feel like all the demons just left my body. I literally felt the demons leave my body. I mean, and you'll hear the most outlandish testimonials. I had a friend of mine who owns a place up in Atlanta, my friend Gil, and his wife comes downstairs. They had a place in the basement. They started in their basement with like a few machines.
Yeah.
And the guy's sitting in this recliner, and he says, "So how are you feeling?" The wife says, Marlou. She says, "Well," he goes, I just had an out of body experience. I was literally able to watch myself in the chair, sitting there. And
Wow.
she's like, yeah, whatever, right? She brushed it off. She's like, no, you don't understand. I had an out of body experience. He went into it again. Yeah.
So, it's like, obviously, one of the things that I feel very passionate about is trying to educate and explain to people how important it is, right, to take control of our own consciousness and to really embrace that higher vibrational state, right? So it's
Right.
it's like this kind of system is actually when your cells are being treated or exposed to this energy, they're actually, it sounds like they're raising, it's all raising up and bringing you into this different state that is now, from what you say, sparking a lot of these more spiritual experiences. So we have a couple of minutes, we only have a few minutes left. It went so fast.
Sure.
And I definitely want to have you on again, because obviously to touch base on how things are going with the center.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'd love to talk to you and educate my listeners a little bit more about the QFS and some of the other areas that,
Sure.
of things that are happening in the world right now. So how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you? And are there any specials that, that you're offering right now that they can be aware of?
Yeah, if they go to the website, stayingalive.com, alive with two eyes, they can always find specials there. And at the bottom, there's a telephone number, which is 321-503-1670. They could call the center directly and book an appointment. If they don't know how to do it, our staff members will be more than happy to walk them through the process, or they can book it. It's just very simple, straightforward. They can book it directly online. Okay. There are always specials, like we'll do specials for Mother's Day and Father's Day and that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, they're always, and we have Mondays are military Mondays, are completely free of charge, 2 hours for all military. As long as they come in with their military ID, they're welcome to come in 2 hours and experience it free of charge because we take care of our military. Yeah. Excellent. So, there's always stuff going. We do movie nights. We had a Father's Day 40% special, just expired yesterday, I believe. Yeah, there's always something going on.
There's always
We're
something.
very
You're always
generous.
mindful.
Yeah,
You're very.
we're
It sounds like
extremely generous.
you're very humanitarian about just wanting to get the word out and get people. So, well, Mel, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the High Vibe Show today. I think you've given our listeners so much information. I'm actually going to be in Orlando.
Yeah, before we go, Dr. Shu in California, who's working very closely with Dr. Sandra, they're doing a test. We should have results by September, October, November, the very latest.
Okay.
We have reason to believe that this technology is allowing the telomeres to go the other way. The telomeres going the other way. If we could prove that scientifically beyond a shadow of a doubt, we have a major situation on our hands, very positive situation, I may add, simply because if anybody understands what telomeres are, when your telomeres literally go down to zero,
they shrink as we age.
Go down to zero, you expire.
Yeah.
You expire, you age. So look at me, I'm going to be 61. I should be arrested for looking this good at 61, right? Okay.
Okay. I mean, you got a year on me. You got a year on me.
So the reality is, if the telomeres are going the other way, correct? That means you're stopping aging. You're reversing aging.
Yes.
And this is where we're at. This is really, literally, I think this technology, with all due respect, is nothing more than a stepping stone to bigger and better things that the galactic families will give to us at some point down the road. And yes, I do believe that we will be able to get inside some of these technologies and come out the other side, and we will be able to live 1,000, 2,000. And
as we should be. And
that is exactly why they dread Donald Trump, because he's ready to give it. By the way, Donald Trump, we know for absolute fact, even though we're not allowed to really say it, but we say it anyway, because Marla Maples went to one of the centers in New Jersey and stayed for 4 overnights. And Marla Maples used to be married to who? Donald Trump. She went with Tiffany Trump. So I backed up Dr. Sandra into the corner a few months back and says, level with me. I said, Donald Trump's got this technology around his bed, doesn't he? Well, she said, I think he's got a few machines from what I understand.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to have you.
Get the picture?
Thank you so much, Mel. I really appreciate it. And we're going to have you back on again. And everybody, thanks.
Anytime you want, just let's book it. Yeah. I'm going to be making my rounds.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody who wants to book me, I'm available.
Yeah. Please get in touch with stayingalive.com, 2 eyes. And till next time, remember, you can always hit the restart button and raise your frequency and live in a vibration of love, abundance, and joy. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Elisa.
You've been listening to The High Vibe Show, living the high vibe life. I'm your host, Elisa V, the Queen of High Vibe. Join us every first and third Monday of the month at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. This is the place to come for you to have loads of fun, frequency upgrades now, and have great guests to hear all about raising your frequency. For more information, visit hittingtherestartbutton.com. See you next time.